So it seems that Turning Point USA has been completely co-opted by the GOP, and I'm glad that I'm not the only one that is seeing this. I have folks from the left and the right that seem to be saying the exact same thing. It is giving everyone a very uneasy feeling, and I want to highlight a few of those. So here we go.
Here is President Trump at the, what did they title this? TPUSA convention?
Toyotathon.
Oh, was this the memorial service?
But there were pyrotechnics.
Wait a second. Honestly, the memorial service? Is this where he's dancing? Oh, play this. This is weird.
Gosh.
Wow. That is not appropriate.
It's callous.
Wait, could you keep playing that? Like, go put that up.
Next to the widow of Charlie Kirk.
That is just not appropriate.
How could you do that to a bereaved widow? I mean, this might have been right after she gave her speech about her
I'm sure
late husband. This is why we were confused about the nature of the event, I think.
I said, I really don't like how the whole organization has been handling his death. It's gratuitous. And don't get me wrong, if they want to say that they're carrying on his legacy or they're doing things the way he would want them to be done or they're continuing to fight the good fight, I get all that. But it's a little gratuitous. Am I the only one that feels that way? It's just like excessive. They are beating that dead horse. They are milking this for everything it's worth. It started right out of the gate, and they have just been pushing it every single day. Within 3 days after he died, she's given a speech. She's the CEO. They're sending fundraising texts about it right out of the gate. Then they do this memorial, and once again, I get it. If that's the Turning Point way, by all means, and they want to honor his life, by all means. But they're doing the Super Bowl commentators with the headsets on, doing a media table. They're selling merch, registering voters. They got pyrotechnics. Is this WrestleMania or is this a funeral? Like, what are we doing here? And then, the day after the funeral, I'm getting 500 texts and emails. Erica Kirk here. I miss him. Every time I blink, every beat of my heart, make sure to donate $5, $15, $25. It's like, okay. It's one thing if your husband dies, period. It's another thing if your husband dies at age 31, unexpectedly. It's another thing if your 31-year-old husband unexpectedly dies because he gets publicly executed with blood gushing out in front of thousands of people screaming and running away. That's like something that's altogether different. And I think they were pushing it when she filmed his dead body. I think they were pushing it when she took control of the organization 72 hours later. I think they were pushing it with the fireworks and the WWE Batista entrance when she gave the eulogy at his funeral. And then now she's hosting the show and she's saying, we have so much business. We have so much business, you can't believe it. We have unreleased content, and we're so excited about what Turning Point's gonna do next. It's like, lady, didn't your husband just get his face blown off like 2 seconds ago? And not to be insensitive about it, but everyone's thinking it. No one wants to be the asshole. No one wants to say it. Everyone's thinking it. Everyone was thinking it when she gave the first speech. Everyone was definitely thinking it at the memorial. Nobody wants to say it because it's inappropriate, it's insensitive. I am the troll, right? So I'll be the one to say it. I think it's super inappropriate. I think it's inappropriate. I think it's weird. It's bizarre. Something is off there, and I don't like it. And I think even from a strategic point of view, they should reel that in a little bit.
They're just farming this. They're just farming Charlie Kirk to try to get as many people on board with what comes next. A political agenda that is objectively unpopular. A political agenda that is objectively unpopular by the right as well. Because targeting political dissidents has been a major fear of the right. I'm not talking about like the right in politics, the right in positions of power. I'm talking about like regular ass people who consider themselves to be conservative, who vote for the Republicans. Like, that is a real point of contention for a lot of people, and a lot of Americans, regardless of background, actually do love the First Amendment.
Here is the thing. Preemptively breaking things because you believe that the left is going to break the things makes the things broken, and you can't unbreak the things. So I'm an advocate of the idea that things that are not yet broken probably should not be. And if we are now in a world where we're going to preemptively break the plate because we believe that the bad guy is going to break the plate, all the plates are going to get broken. And regardless of what you do, that's going to get used against you. The shards will be used as weapons against you. I promise you.
It is always in extraordinary circumstances that revolutions occur. It is always under extraordinary circumstances that a regime will exploit the passions, the mood of the mob, of the moment, to aggressively push an agenda that under normal circumstances would not be permitted. In ordinary circumstances, we believe certain things. There are certain things we will support and what we will not support. There are certain things that the public has an appetite for and certain things the public will not tolerate. It is exclusively in extraordinary circumstances, sensational things that give us a visceral reaction, when emotions are high, tensions are high, when people are angry, sad, when people are affected. That is when these aggressive agendas are pushed through with propaganda, by hijacking feelings, hijacking emotion when reason is suspended. And this is no different than any other thing.
The light will defeat the dark. We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble. And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing. You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity. You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy. And we will devote the rest of our lives to finishing the causes for which Charlie gave his last measure of devotion. You cannot defeat us. You cannot slow us. You cannot stop us. You cannot deter us. We will carry Charlie and Erica in our heart every single day and fight that much harder because of what you did to us. You have no idea the dragon you have awakened. You have no idea how determined we will be to save this civilization, to save the West, to save this republic.
I'm not going to, pretend like I'm, deaf to what I read on the internet or blind to it. I know there are people who are questioning the TPUSA guy because somehow the bullet, there was only an entry wound and not an exit wound, and somebody took a camera. I don't care about any of that because that's not the they he's talking about. The they he's talking about is you because of some former, or maybe not former, somebody who was raised in a conservative household around guns in a very religious, conservative setting. That's not my fault. That was not the upbringing that I gave him. But Stephen Miller would blame all of you for this guy's upbringing, this 22-year-old.
Despite this headline, no evidence, quote, found yet of ties between Charlie Kirk's shooting and left-wing groups.
And if you're confused on who they should be, it's this man. There is no nebulous they who killed Charlie Kirk. Especially isn't these two. Do you think those people radicalized anyone? They can't radicalize their own base to get behind them for a spending bill.
It is not unique. It is not extraordinary. This is like any other one of those things. And we all recognize in the past how these things are used. Isn't that always how it goes? In the rear view mirror, in hindsight, we can say going to war in Iraq was a mistake. The Patriot Act was overreach by the government. It's only in retrospect can we say clearly that was a crisis that was either manufactured or capitalized upon, whatever you believe, in order to effect an aggressive government agenda. But it's in the moment when it's difficult to see. It's in the moment when propaganda and emotions cloud everything. Fear, panic, all these different things that come into play. It's in the moment, in confusion, when these things are happening. And in order for us to prevent that kind of overreach or aggressive, tyrannical kind of thing, in order for us to prevent that in the future, we have to be mature and we have to look at it in the moment, not in the past. We have to understand what is happening as it is happening, not after the fact, after it's already too late. What if in those days of the war on terror, people recognized what was happening in the moment and said, obviously 9/11 was horrible, but what did Saddam Hussein have to do with it? Obviously 9/11 was terrible, but now we have no right to privacy. Now they're going to listen into all of our phone calls and emails forever. It's no different here. Now, what happened on Sunday? And with all of that being said, what happened on Sunday, whatever you want to call that, that was a political event. That was not a funeral. It wasn't. They didn't market it that way. That's not what it was. It was a memorial. And what it really was effectively was a big political rally. Did we hear from Charlie Kirk's friends, relatives? Did we hear from the people that knew him the best? No. We heard from the RNC. We heard from the Secretary of Education. We heard from the White House Chief of Staff. We heard from the White House Strategic Advisor. We heard from the Secretary of State. We heard from the Secretary of Health and Human Services. We heard from Tucker Carlson. Is that a funeral? Is that a memorial? That felt to me like the Republican National Convention. That felt to me like CPAC. That felt to me like any generic Republican right-wing gathering. And it had all of the trappings of that. Giant LED video walls, pyrotechnics. Have you ever been to a funeral with fireworks before? Have you ever been to a memorial with fireworks?